and welcome back to my channel. So today I decided I wanted to do a chatty makeup tutorial. It's been a long time since I've done one of these, purely because I end up talking so much and the video gets super long, but I'm feeling like I'm in a bit of a chatty mood, so I thought why not sit down and film for you all. The look that I'm gonna recreate is actually this makeup look right here, which is the beautiful Kendall Jenner. It's a super bronzed and kind of like a metallic-y eye, and as soon as I saw this on my Instagram I was like, oh my god, I have to do this look. So that's why I thought, why not come and film it for you all. So yeah, I guess I'll just get straight into this tutorial. I'm going to moisturize my skin using the Clinique Moisture Surge real quick. I find every single time I moisturize my face, it like goes red, which is really annoying, but it's okay. So I've been wearing false eyelashes a lot recently, and I genuinely feel like my eyelashes are falling out. So note to self, don't wear falsies too much. Oh, I've got my primer. Okay, so for primer, I want to go for like really glowy bronzed skin like Kendall. So I'm taking the In Transit Camera Close-Up by This Works and the L'Oreal Paris Lumi Magique, and I'm going to put that all over my face. I'm also trying out a couple of like new products in this makeup look, so I will let you know what I think about them. And as you can see, I kind of like broke out quite a lot last month. If you guys follow me on Snapchat, you will know that I'm loving this app called Plant Nanny. It's so good. I'll leave the details of it below because it's seriously like, I love it. Foundation, I am going to go in with this EX1 foundation. The reason why I'm using this is because it's super like skin-like and it's very dewy. And I thought this would be perfect for getting the same kind of like skin finish as what Kendall had. So I'm just going to put this on with my damp beauty blender all over my face. One thing that I've been doing is I don't really put too much foundation underneath my eyes, only because I go quite heavy with the concealer, and then that way there's less product on my skin and it doesn't look like super like cakey or thick. And I love this foundation. My old one was like quite old, so it was sitting really funny on my skin, but I've got a new one now, so I'll be able to use it more for you all. I have like major Rudolph nose going on. Just going to add a little bit more to the center of my face, just because I like a little bit more coverage in that area. Basically like on and around my nose. So if you guys don't follow me on Twitter, you might not know that I'm going to India next month, and I'm going there for FanFest India. I'm so excited. I will leave all the details below because I'm not too sure how tickets and everything work. I believe they're free, but I will leave all of like the details of their website and all of that below for you all. Foundation is done. I'm going to move on to concealer. So I'm just going to add my Bare Minerals Stroke of Light concealer, which is a really nice lightweight concealer in the usual areas that I like to apply it, but like not too heavy. So just enough so that it balances everything out on my face. I say not too heavy, but then I know I always like put way too much on. Okay, so underneath my eyes, a little bit on my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, on my chin and around my mouth. And I'm going to blend that all away with the beauty blender as well. And because we don't have much product, like foundation on underneath our eyes, it will sit really nicely and it won't look too heavy. I used to use this concealer all the time, like last year I want to say, and it is really, really nice because it's really lightweight on the skin. It's not like heavy or anything. Just gonna add a little bit of my Maybelline Anti-Age Eye Rewind concealer thing, and I'm just gonna add that just on like the high points of my cheek, just to brighten that up a little bit, so when we add all the bronzer, it's gonna make a nice kind of contrast. Okay, I'm just going to quickly add some lip balm. This is the Dr. Lip lip balm. Now I'm going to set all of those areas that we added the concealer with my Laura Mercier setting powder. And I'm going to take that on a really dirty Zoeva Luxe Face Focus Brush, I think it's called. Yeah. So many of you guys ask what this brush is. It's literally my favourite brush for setting my under eyes and stuff. It's got a really, really nice shape to it. I just want to set all of that. And this is just so that the concealer like doesn't crease and it doesn't budge. So now I'm going to move on to my, I wanted to do my brows, but I'm going to do them a little bit later. I'm going to move on to eyes first, and I'm going to prime my eyelids using the Maybelline Color Tattoo in the shade Creme de Nude. And this is a really nice kind of neutral shade. And my eyelids are super like pigmented, and this really helps kind of give my eyelids a really nice even base. You can see like this eye and that eye, there's like a massive difference. And then adding it on the other eye as well. And then I'm going to set that in place as well with a bit more of the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. Kendall had this really beautiful like halo metallic eye. So for the metallic colours, I'm going to be using this Zoeva Metals palette, and it's got some really stunning colours in here. So I'm going to start off with actually a transition shade, and I'm just going to use some bronzer. The bronzer that I'm going to use, I think, is the Hoola bronzer. I'm going to take that on a fluffy blending brush and just blend that into the crease. Whenever I do a halo eye, I always like to concentrate on the outer and inner corners first, and then I go in with the pop of colour in the centre of the lid. I'm going to take a mixture of Platinum and Ore Stone, I think it's called. It's these two colours here. I'm going to mix them up, and I'm going to add them to the outer and inner corners of my eyes. Oh my god, I totally got some eyeshadow going on. I always like to go in the inner corners first. And I like to always like open my eye to make sure that I'm not going too far into the crease of my eye. And now I'm going to do the same exact thing to the outer corners. I feel like I don't do halo eyes enough. I think there's such a pretty eyeshadow look, and you can do it with so many different colours. Taking that fluffy brush that we used for the transition shade, I'm just gonna like blend out any edges. I'm gonna take a mixture of these two colours here and apply that to like the centre of my eyelids. And for that I'm using the Zoeva Smoky Shader Brush. You want to make sure that you're applying this like pop of colour really close to your lash line as well, because when you open your eyes you want to be able to see that pop of colour. I'm actually going to mix a little bit of this warm silver as well into that, just to make it pop a little bit more. Taking some more Hoola and just running that through the crease. If you ever have like no transition colour, or you're like, what do I put in my crease? Always go for a bronzer, because you can't go wrong with it, and I love using a bronzer in my crease because you can really build up the intensity and make it like super smoky, or you can keep it quite like natural looking. So now that I've got like the majority of the eye on, I'm going to take a bit of this Ore Stone colour here, which is the darker like turquoise, and I'm going to pack that on to the inner and outer corners just to make that a little bit more intense. I love doing this whenever I'm doing my eyeshadow. I love going back and forth with colours. I'm also kind of slightly joining them up in the crease. Blending out all the edges. So now I'm going to fill in my brows using the Anastasia Dip Brow in the shade Dark Brown. I'm going to set them all in place with my beloved Brow Artist Plumper. This is in the darkest shade. Seriously, like super glue, your brow hairs just will not budge once this is on. what I've been recently liking doing is getting a spoolie once I've put the Brow Artist on, just to really lock all those hairs in place. Now it's time to do some eyeliner. I'm taking this Smolder Kohl by Soap & Glory, and I'm putting this on my upper and lower waterlines. Before I move on to mascara or anything, I'm going to use the Maybelline Master Ink to create like the tiniest line on my upper lash line. And this is going to make our eyelashes look a lot thicker and like waterline just look fuller. So you can see here, like this eye, like the eyelashes line just looks a little bit thicker. Moving on to mascara, I'm going to be using my favourite mascara right now. It's the False Lash Sculpt. This has definitely taken over my love for the Lash Sensation. Although it's such a good daytime and every day-to-day mascara, this one just glams up my lashes like no other mascara does. So I'm going to apply a good amount of this onto my upper lashes. Like, can you see the difference? It's pretty insane. So now we're going to work on the lower lash line, and I'm grabbing the same Ore Stone colour and kind of like smoking it out, and I'm using a Zoeva detailed shader brush for that. With the same brush, I'm picking up some of Hoola, and I'm going to smoke that lower lash line out even more. Now going in with the same mascara and adding it to my lower lashes. I always do my lower lashes, like mascara and everything, at the end, just because I hate getting eyeshadow in my like lashes once they're already mascaraed up. So this is the part where I go back in with some more eyeshadow on the areas where I feel like it needs evening out. So I'm going to add a little bit more of that Ore Stone colour into like the bluer areas, top of my lids. And not forgetting the crease. We don't want there to be like blocky colours on the crease. Okay, now it's time to bronze up the face, and for that I'm using this Giorgio Armani Liquid Summer Bronzer, and I've never used this before, so I'm going to take a little bit on the back of my hand and like blend it away into my skin. And I'm going to use it with the Real Techniques contour brush. So I'm going to add a few drops to the back of my hand, or like one drop, and then I'm just going to go ahead and start bronzing up. Oh my god, this is beautiful. It like melts away into your skin so nicely without it looking like super harsh. It looks really natural. I love the Giorgio Armani bases just because they are so natural looking. They don't look really harsh on the skin. So I've just pumped some more out on the back of my hand because we want this look to be super bronze. You can literally build up this colour without it looking cakey, just because it is a liquid bronzer rather than like a powder bronzer. Now, in true like Kardashian Jenner style, I am going to add a little bit of contour, and for that I'm using this Tarte Sculptor in the shade number 2, and I'm just adding it to like the outer part of where I would contour my cheeks, not like going all out or anything. Again, just blending those lines out. Now, where we've applied all this bronzer, I'm just going to go and blend out any harsh lines with the side of like the beauty blender. Oh my god, I'm actually in love with this bronzer. To make sure that all those bronzed areas are set, I'm taking that hoola and just kind of slightly dusting it over. And this is just going to set everything in place and it's not going to budge. You guys know the drill. What do we have left? So, cheeks, I'm going to finish them off by just highlighting. And I've been loving layering my highlighters. Now, when I layer highlighters, I like going in with like a coloured highlighter and then with either like a lighter champagne-y gold highlighter. So the coloured highlighter I'm going to use is this Laura Geller Baked Swirl Illuminator in the shade Ballerina. And I'm just going to add that just under where I would generally highlight. And it just adds like a slight flush of colour to the cheeks without it looking like super like highlighted up. For the layering part, I'm going to use the So Hollywood highlighter by Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is a really gorgeous gold shade and I'm going to apply that to like the highest points of my cheeks. You guys can see that already. Oh my god, it's really beautiful. I'm not going to take that up into my like brow bone because it didn't look like Kendall had much of a highlight going on there. I am going to run this just along the tops of my eyebrows. I totally forgot to contour my nose, so I'm going to quickly do that really, really slightly using the same Huda bronzer. Just bronzing up the sides. Okay, so going in with that same So Hollywood highlighter, just slightly down the like top part of the bridge of my nose and then the tip. Really, really slightly on like my Cupid's bow. So that the highlighter doesn't look super powdery, I'm taking my Beauty Blender and my Fix Plus and I'm just spraying it and then I'm just going over where we like highlighted our cheeks. And this is just going to help it like blend into our cheeks really nicely. So it just looks like we are like, not wet, but we're just like glowing from within. And it doesn't look like we've got too much product on our skin. So for lips, Kendall had a really nice like nudie peach colour going on. So I'm going to try mixing these two shades here. So this one is the MAC liquid lipstick in the shade Back in Vogue, and these are super drying, so I'm only going to put a little bit on. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to blot that with my finger. And then to make it a little bit more nude, I'm adding Stockholm, which is a NYX matte cream. And again, I'm going to blot that with my finger. It's still looking a little bit too like peachy, so I'm going to go in with another lipstick. You guys know me, I love putting like 5 different lip colours on my lips. So, taking like the nudist lipstick that I possibly have, which is MAC's Myth, I'm going to go and add that on top. That's more like it. And again, I'm going to just blot that away. The final step, I am going to spray some Fix Plus all over my face. So this is the final Kendall Jenner inspired makeup look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this not so chatty video, because I felt like for half of the video I was not talking that much, so I'm really sorry about that. I got so into doing my makeup that I completely forgot to talk to you guys. So I'm really sorry. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this makeup look. For me, personally, this look is definitely something that you can wear for spring, which is coming up. I cannot believe we're almost in March. This is just crazy. But I absolutely love this look. This is definitely a really gorgeous, like, sultry spring makeup look. And yeah, I guess that's all for now. I don't think I'm forgetting to tell you guys anything. If I am, it will be listed in the info box below. And before I start talking too much, now that it's the end of the video, I will see you all in my next one. Bye!
No Photoshop, no digital manipulation. This is my new skin. When I first started using the product, I was a little bit skeptical. I've been using a lot of face products throughout the years, but I started noticing in 2 weeks a total difference in my skin. I was getting compliments. I noticed it, so I would totally recommend this product to anybody.